because maybe it'll work.
Hmm.
I probably should have gotten those, but I didn't.
Hello, everybody. Very late today, but we're here, so yay! Doing several different things today.
Please.
Lynn, in
There's no chance I could convince you to use this coupon, is there?
coupons. I got a coupon. I'm sorry. Okay, anyway. Hopefully someone remembers
Not yet,
that.
no. But it was on a shop and scan. I didn't do shop and scan.
I don't know if anyone listens to Ron White.
That's okay, hon.
I forgot what I was going to ask now. Okay, the thing that's on screen, I need to save it. I don't remember the name I need to save it under, therefore I don't remember the name that I need to reference this to so that I can ask you how tall these people are. The story where you discovered that I have an inner emu and it will come out.
Oh,
what story was that?
I know.
How do you?
That is,
you just take the coupon off?
something about trouble. It's something about trouble. Hold on.
Because I didn't do shopping.
Let me look. I can find
Trouble
it.
Ain't So Bad? After all,
Trouble ain't so bad. There we go.
yeah, Trouble Ain't So Bad or something to that effect. Okay, how tall was Griselda in that? How tall was Dagda in that? Because I think I got their sizes wrong here.
You don't know how happy I was when I just turned around and saw you?
No. They are not super duper different size. She is shorter, but he's probably right in the like
I'm like, no,
more between 5'9" and 6 foot.
Mm-hmm.
And he is probably right there at like the 5'3" area.
You're my favorite person. I hope
my money. I don't care about this.
Not
Right.
not like giantly taller than her, but he's significantly taller than her.
So he's between 5'9" and 6 foot, you said?
Yeah, somewhere in that general vicinity.
And
And
she's
she's
like
like
5'3".
right in that like she's little.
It was frozen open.
'Cause
I didn't know that.
she's little.
Oh no.
So finally, when my parents was able to come over to fix it, well, literally just.
He's somewhere
I
between
turned it off.
5'9" and 6'3".
So we figured. The big deal.
Or, sorry,
normal
6
one
feet.
was
5'9" and 6
17.
feet. That's a big range, babe.
It is a really big range. Where you've got them about now is about where I imagine them.
Okay.
Her at like just at the point where he can kind of bump her
So I
head.
was like,
Yeah, he's sort of like lowering his head and raising his shoulders here.
So you think
But
the trust
that's-
connection.
Right.
This is the scene where she's tucking in his shirt and he's just like, ugh. Like,
Oh yeah, he's yeah, I know what you're talking about.
What
Hold on.
the fuck? I'd rather make the
Child,
business
drop
rather
me
pay
Thank you, sweetie.
$770, $678. Because it's not an emergency.
Becca, honey, could you mute?
Like, it's not an emergency because I ain't got a damn washer. Right? What?
I don't think she can hear us, actually.
Turn the washer off. That's the house.
I'm going.
That's
on.
messed up.
Yeah, you'd think that they tell us.
I'm going to mute.
It's like, that's weird because we have leaks here and they call.
In fact, I'm actually going to go ahead and, just for the sake of everyone's ears, I'm going to go ahead and turn the computer audio off, which means I'm the only person that anyone's going to hear. So, that's not going to help you much. I apologize. But, you can't. We'd have to get out of the Discord call. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Okay, well, now that I've done that, actually,
it's
it
the
saves
one where
everyone's
she's
ears.
tucking
Thank you
his
for
shirt
finding that.
in. Was that?
I said thank you for
Oh.
finding that.
Yeah, not a problem. Well, I have to fuck around with like user volume quite frequently because Emery is so fucking quiet. So fucking quiet. So this is after he gets out of the bathroom, yeah?
No, this is at the office when she's talking. Oh, sorry. Yes, after he gets out of the bathroom
After
at
he
the
gets out of
office.
the bathroom at the office because she's like, yeah, you need to go let out some of that fucking volume of liquid you've had in you. Come on.
No, I can't hear her at all.
Oh, well, was gonna say
It's nothing to do with you. It's just my own. There she is. Okay, cool. I'm just trying to figure out where to leave this so that I can hear her when she comes back.
Yeah, fair point.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. When he came out of the bathroom, his shirt was all, out, and she's just like, "Listen, sir." And he's
Just
like, "How do you
"Get
know
the
how
fuck
to
out
do
of
that?"
here."
I'm like, I grew. Like, I had a husband
Like,
and a son.
bro,
I know how
I
to do
had a
this.
boy.
You too. You too, Sarah.
Are you out of the store now?
Yes. The joys of shopping at a place where I used to work. Sorry.
You're
Yeah.
okay.
Well, it was just that we were trying to actually talk about what she's drawing, and I was like, I can't hear you over her.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I was actually
So I-
gonna say, oh wait, this isn't where I need to save that. If at all possible, if we can, whenever we're gonna go into an area that's we're either not going to be addressing the people on the call or it's gonna be really loud or both, if we can try to mute at that time. If you can't, that's fine, because I have now just discovered, thanks to Lynn, how to turn user volumes down. So, apparently you just got to right-click a name. This is my technological level. You just got to right-click a name, and it has a whole host of settings. This is also how I now know how to kick someone off a call. So now I can do that for anybody who falls asleep on the call.
Get out.
I just never thought to right-click the fucking name. Apparently, I'm just that dumb. But anyway,
I have fucked around with shit a lot because I had to.
right? So now that I know that, there's a whole host of things that I can do that I couldn't do before. One of which being, if you can't manage to mute or something when you're going to be in a situation where it's like super loud or you're talking to not the people on the call, I can turn it down. But if it's possible, and this applies to me and anybody else really, if we could mute at that time, that'd be great, just to keep it from, basically overflowing the call and the audio on the video, basically. But again, if you can't, it's fine, because now I know where the user volume is. Frizzy, Dagda, Trouble 8, so bad.
I was really upset because it was $10 off the coupon, and I didn't know that it was in there. Otherwise, I would have done shopping can. I looked at the cashier. I was like, "Can I convince you to use this?" She was like, "No."
Oh.
And then I turned around, and she had swapped out break with my old coworker. I looked at Patrice, and I was like, "You'll put this in for me?" And she's like, "Yes, I will."
That's hilarious.
Fuck you.
She's like, "It ain't my money. I don't care."
We are not going to specify where that location is. Alright, anyway. I'm working on Ko-fi sketches and other sketches today, in case that wasn't obvious. So, that's what's going on here.
Please let go.
So utterly smitten.
I'm sorry, human. I can't get my keys out of the cart. They're stuck.
Oh no.
I'm just gonna move so you can get out.
Particular picture.
They're so cute.
They are. They're
It's
being
just
sneaky and they're having
so
this
great.
catch a quick kissy kiss, and they get caught, and they're trying not to get caught. There's some fucking back room or out
Like in a
back
fucking hall, like in like a hallway that, like, I don't want to say a janitorial hallway, but it's hard for me to say specifically because I haven't been in a whole lot of schools, and the schools that I've been with I never really explored because I just wasn't that kind of kid apparently. So I'm sure there's like service hallways and stuff like that just aren't used or that kids don't go down much, kind of thing.
No. Okay, so get this. So most where they probably are is they're probably either, it depends on how the school is set up, but generally speaking, the places where kids usually aren't is the theater area usually has its own section, which Luce and Gus, being the ones to find them in the theater section, seems just absolutely appropriate.
Okay, I'm gonna roll with that.
They're over by where the theater is.
Oh, hi, Win. Oh, supply closet. Win's like, they're in a supply closet. Okay, but that would be kind of funny, wouldn't it?
The thing is, though, is those things do exist.
Right?
At my school, the principal's office was through an office inside of an office inside of an office. So,
Lol. Well, and see, that's the thing. Faust is the visiting principal, right? They're at Phillips School here, because she's vice principal at Phillips School. So Faust is just the visiting one. He wouldn't be going to, like, the main principal's office anyway, right? And don't get me
well,
wrong,
there
like,
was a vice principal's office, which my school also had. It was in the same area.
it was okay. Like, and that's the part that I just don't remember, is if they're right next to each other, or
They're not going to her office, because if they go to their office, they have to go past, they have to, pretend while they're near her office, because her office is probably in the general vicinity of the most gossipy people in the entire school, which is the secretarial staff.
You're right. You're 100% correct.
Oh, they're not there. He is leaving, and she has made herself unavailable for a little bit, and they have ducked into some quiet little corner, which I am going to absolutely advocate for it being the theater hallway, because usually there is the place where you have your classes, and then there's the place where the actual theater is. There's always at least one hallway that is completely cut off from the rest of the school, because it's the hallway back to the green room, and you need to have a hallway back to the green room so there can be a green room.
Yes.
They are either in the backstage type area, or they're in the hallway to the green room, or if their school is like my school was, they're just in the fucking entryway to the actual, like, in the area where the people come in to go to the theater, because that was its own complete section of the school, just off, slapped on the side of the fucking school.
Real quick,
my theater was
when oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, my theater was also doubled as a gymnasium, so it had a stage in it, but it was also a gym, and so it was the locker room / backstage area that was completely cut off from the rest of the school.
And
Yep.
Nice. And so
we had we had 2 stages at that time, and now the school actually has 3 stages. It has the old gym, which has the old theater in it, which is exactly like you're talking about. And then we have the theater, which was a proper theater facility type thing, where you have an actual stage and an actual backstage and an actual green room and actual dressing rooms that are specifically there for the theater. So right proper theater setup. And then they added on another theater, which is a concert hall, but specifically set up specifically for concerts, so they can have the theater and a concert hall. So
Yeah, my school wasn't big enough for that.
the school my kids go to is fucking massive.
So Wynn's setup, apparently, since we're going through high school setups, had a stage, but it wasn't a proper theater. It was just a stage with a backstage in the absolute center of the main building. The audience area doubled as the lunchroom. There were student lockers on either side of the backstage area.
Wow.
That's great, damn.
Oh my gosh. All of these are just lovely options.
My entire school's population was probably your graduating class.
Ha. Well, actually, yeah, I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
That's exactly the case.
My school's graduating, my graduating class was 180 when we graduated.
Okay, not quite that. See, I
My
talked to
school
someone
started
who graduated
off.
like 30,000.
Was that?
I talked to someone whose graduating class was fucking 3,000.
The school is actually getting to the point where that is starting to sound like a reasonable thing. So if our school, if the school my kids go to, which I call our school because that's where I went to high school and the end part of middle school, the school has 6, I want to say it's 6 now, 6 grade schools that all feed into the middle school and high school, the middle schools plural and high school. So the graduating class from my graduating class started off like 217 or something like that, 218, and then ended with a bunch of people had dropped out and ended at the 180. But my sister's graduating class was something like just shy of 300.
Yeah, 300 is about the populace of my high school.
And then I know that, like, my kids, both of them have, like, somewhere between 300 and 500. I know that's a huge swath, but I have not looked at how big the graduating class is recently, and I know my son's is, like, upper 300s to 400.
Bless you.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I know the school is much bigger than it was when I went, because I think the graduating classes are in the hundreds now, but when I went, like, our entire high school, I think there was 400 students total. In my grade, we had like 60 and 48 of us graduated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is classic bullshit, you know. Well, and I know that a few of the people who didn't graduate from our school actually moved schools to Metro, because we actually have a specific school for people who get pregnant, and
That sounds like a good thing.
Yeah.
It actually really is. We have a specific school for people who get pregnant, so instead of going to, say, juvie or something like that, these girls can actually go to a school that has in it a daycare. And
That's super very helpful. Well,
right?
actually, I wish
It's
it
like something
like
where
that.
people are like, oh yeah, these kids went to Metro, and then I actually talked to a girl who had gone to Metro, and she's like, yeah, actually it was absolutely fantastic, because I could actually help out in the daycare for credit, and watch my kid for school credits.
Sweet.
For my graduating, so that we would help with the burden of the kids. And so it was like, not only did you gain the skills that you needed from school, but you had someone there who taught you things that maybe your family didn't know or didn't care to tell you, or maybe you didn't have family who was supporting you, so you could learn things like swaddling, changing diapers, proper, figure out things like how, when it is scary, when what's going on with the child is scary, and when what's going on with the child isn't scary. And you could learn all of these very practical, very necessary life skills that if you didn't have a supportive family, you might need.
Right.
Yeah, we, small tiny school, we only had one girl who got pregnant. She still graduated with us, but she had to go through normal freaking school and whatnot. And I feel like that was stressful as all hell.
Oh, it absolutely is, because that was the reason why this girl had moved to Metro, was because normal frickin' school was ridiculously stressful, and to have a baby, a swaddled level baby, while you're having to go to school, when she went to Metro, if she wanted, she could have breastfed. Because all she had to do was, go, hey, I need to go feed my, she'd have a schedule where she could be like, okay, I'm gonna go feed my kid, and then feed her kid, and then go back and get the education she required. It's so weird to me to think that you would require a special school. That, I mean, like, it's a good idea to kind of centralize that so that if you have that infrastructure, you can put all of the people who need that infrastructure together and get the appropriate infrastructure in place for them, have it function the way it needs to. You know, that makes sense. But also, it kind of sucks that you have to leave the school that you've been going to this whole time so that you can have the infrastructure that you require. And it's kind of like, you know, how they do with, like, the special ed stuff. They're like, yeah, we want to see these special education children spend as much time in a normal classroom as possible. And I can't help but kind of look at that and go, you know, these people have education needs that are not being met by a regular school.
In case anyone's wondering, my screen literally did freeze, so we're just waiting for that to come back.
But yeah, it's very frustrating to me to see people be forced out of normal education because of a thing that happened to them or with them, and I don't like seeing that happen to people when it didn't need to. And for a couple of those girls, I really felt like it didn't need to.
I mean, yeah.
Because they were, you know, they were otherwise good students. They just made a decision. It wasn't even necessarily a bad decision. It was a decision lots of other kids were making, and they just happened to get hit with the, if you will, maximum result from that particular action. Because let me tell you, some of the people who were fucking in the fucking school did not end up having to change schools to go to Metro. Because, first off, any of the guys who got caught fucking in the school never had to be pushed to Metro. And there were plenty of girls who got caught fucking who weren't sent away because they hadn't gotten pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of one of those things where I'm like, yeah, it is for the best that people who have an education need get a proper education, you know, a proper environment to suit that educational need. But on the other hand, that was kind of shitty. That these girls ended up having to leave the school that they'd been in to go to a different school because their school refused or couldn't provide them the support that they required. So
Right.
I guess I'm just kind of 6 in one, half dozen in the other about that whole business.
Right.
I
Like,
get
it's cool, but it sucks that it is a necessary thing, kind of moment.
Yeah. Like, I'm really glad that infrastructure existed at Metro for these girls. You know, I'm really glad that existed for them because
I hate
they
that
would have been shunted completely out of the education system at, you know, 15, 16 because they ended up with a crotch goblin. And just because you have a kid doesn't mean you shouldn't be allowed to be a productive member of society. That is the thing that we want from people, is for them to be a productive member of society. That is the entire reason why we send people to school, is so that they will be productive members of society. So, them having made more people does not qualify them for life to me, you know?
Well, I mean, especially when that's just what's so constantly pushed on people to do, is make more people.
Yeah.
Like, they literally did what you want them to do, and you're penalizing them for it. Like,
that is one of my biggest complaints about, like, the pro-life business, is if you're going to, I've probably said this to you before, but my biggest complaint is that the pro-life people are also usually anti-family planning, and they're also usually anti-welfare. And at that point, I'm like, bro, you can be 2 of those 3 things. You cannot be all 3, because if you are all 3, that is just asshole territory. You are just being an asshole. Because if you don't give family planning, which includes proper education, there's gonna be babies. They're going to be unwanted babies. So if you're going to insist that they have the babies and you refuse to help them not have the babies, then you're going to have to be willing to take care of them. Because they did the thing they were obviously going to do, because, they didn't have any family planning services, they aren't allowed to remove the issue at the source. Hell, a lot of these places don't even want Plan B, and Plan B isn't even an abortive. It is a literally emergency contraception. It does not work if an egg has already implanted. It is a contraception. It is not in any way, shape, or form abortion. Like, not even a little bit. Like, calling it an abortion pill is absolutely incorrect, wrong, don't do it. But, like, they are usually against all 3, and I'm like, you can only be against 2 if you want to live in reality. If you're against all 3, you simply just don't live in reality. Now, I would argue that you should be pro all 3 of those things, because there are going to be people who want to have the baby, who have, be that social or religious things that are going to make it so they don't want to have an abortion, and they will need help.
Mm-hmm.
So, help them. You wanted the baby to exist anyway, help them. That whole business, just part of the reason why that gets me so up in arms is just because it's at that point where somebody's like, no, I don't want welfare cleans, but I don't want abortion, but I also don't want family education, family planning and education. And I'm like, okay, so you just want people miserable. That is what you're saying to me, is you want people miserable because you know damn well teenagers are going to have sex, because that's what they kind of do. You did it. Teenagers have not.
Those are literally the people who just look at women and go, baby making machine, unless you're not married, and then you're just a whore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just ew.
Yeah, and it is an accurate. That is an accurate description of what these people seem to think like. It is just that okay, you make babies, and therefore if you aren't married, then you are making babies illegally. Those are illegal babies, and you should be punished for the fact that you're making illegal babies. It's like, bro.
Sorry.
Illegal babies.
Illegal babies.
They're so illegal.
I don't know why that's so funny.
Because it's just utterly ridiculous, and therefore it that just makes it funny. Like, it's just so stupid. It can't be anything but funny. Because
Right.
It's just so dumb. So dumb.
By the
It
way,
really is.
random, but Win, your school sounds kind of awesome. I feel like I want to visit just for the sake of visiting, based on everything that you just said. They made like a separate auditorium for the I think, because that's what she was saying before, is that it was all like in the center of the main building or something like that. But also, yeah, were you raised in a big city or something to have 1,600 students there? Shit, that's a lot of people. Or is that just me being dumb about, like, the way those things work? That could be me being dumb about
that's a
the
fairly
way those
large
things
school system.
work. Whoops, I still have the eraser on.
That's what the question was.
How big the
She's
school
talking-
was.
I think she's talking directly to Win, so.
If Wynn's even still on, I don't even know.
Gotcha.
It looks like she's got herself deafened, so.
Okay.
But yeah, like it's just I obviously can talk for a significant period of time about this particular subject because I have loads of feelings.
All the feelings.
I mean, we did have that really long conversation that one stream, so.
Yeah. But I am nothing if not a person who will be more than happy to inform you of her opinions. That whole any situation in which somebody tells you, women should be seen and not heard, they are definitely the sort of person who would not get along with me in any way, shape, or form because I'll be heard.
I am going to be heard, sir or
Make
ma'am.
no fucking mistakes. There is sound. I exist. There is sound.
You said the illegal baby thing, and it was funny, but it made me think of when they used to send like teenage girls who got pregnant to the freaking convents and then literally treat them like fugitives and like adopt their kids off without telling them and shit.
Yep. So it was funny the way that I said it, but I understand that it's not actually funny because it was actually a thing. I get it.
Ew.
Yeah.
I just remember watching. There was like a true story movie I watched once where that's exactly what happened to this girl. That she got pregnant, they sent her to a convent, and they adopted off her son without telling her that he was being adopted. And she spent her whole life looking for him, and by the time she found him, he had already died.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, that's so awful. Thank you. That made me sad.
Did I mention that this son had gone to the convent looking for his mother, and the convent lied to him and told him they didn't know where she was?
Oh my god. Okay, so let's not be sad and angry anymore. Let's try. First of all, that fucking sucks.
Let's talk about how adorable these two dorks are. Come the fuck on.
That does suck though. Like, hope fucking shit. All right.
Fucking sucks.
Okay, to wash that horribleness out of our brain. Here's something that could make this even better. Okay. This hadn't even been a thought that occurred to me. Of course, this is a thought that occurred to Farrell, and Farrell's like, oh, what if Luce is their grandkid in this one as well?
Oh my god, that makes it infinitely better.
Right? And so, like, in other words...
Is Luce like... okay, so that immediately made my brain say something, but I will try to be quiet so that you can say what you're going to say.
Well, I now don't remember exactly what I was going to say, but I will say this much. The context for this scene, at the very least, Farrell was like, okay, so... I remember the other thing that I was going to say. So, Tara would go by her maiden name, quotation marks, no, I'm just kidding. She would go by her maiden name at this school, right? She would use that as her name for to keep everything professional, right? And that way, like, no one can accuse her of anything or whatever, or, try to find her, or whatever the case may be, right? To keep things professional, she goes by her maiden name. And, of course, the only grandkid right now is Luce, right? And so she knows, don't call grandma, just call her Miss, whatever normal thing that you would call a teacher, right? Just like, pretend she's a teacher. Ma'am, Miss Tara, whatever. And the context for this scene that Farrell thought up was that, and this would only work, well, I mean, it could work. It just sort of depends entirely on how the school is set up, because we were talking about this possibly being like in the theater area, like something like that, where like more than likely it's a guarantee that students aren't going to go, like maybe even after hours or something. Like the thought that she was thinking was that this is after hours, everyone's gotten out or whatever, and that Luce and Gus were making their way to the principal's office because they were going to prank Philip. And, but didn't, like, say that that's what they were doing. Like, she just said, because Faust was visiting, I guess, she just said, hey, Grandpa, distract Grandma.
Oh my god.
It was just like, okay. Like the best. So what they ended up with was they're sneaking to try to get into the principal's office, and this is like the hallway right outside of the offices or something. Or like this is the back way to the offices maybe. Like, I don't know if there's such a thing as a back way into the offices. I guess, again, it would just depend on how the building's set up.
It depends on the school, so there totally could be.
Yeah, so, like, maybe they were trying to go the back way, and maybe, like, right around this corner is where the offices actually are or something. And they, like, oh, shit! Like, so that was basically Farrell's context for it. And, it's fucking hilarious. I love it. Luckily, this is all they caught them doing. But anyway.
Luckily, yeah. Well, and she's like, Grandpa, you gotta get Grandma out of her office, but I need her distracted. He's like, okay.
I can do that.
Not what I meant.
Oops. Should have been more specific.
Yes.
So my immediate thought was that no one, like, because of the way that the two of them are, like, professional at people, like, no one will believe Luce that her grandparents are these two. First off, a lot of people are like, no, they're way too fucking young to be your grandparents. And then they're like, and also, like, those two hate each other. Like, I don't believe you. He hates her guts. And she's like, seriously? These are my grandparents. They do not hate each other. Honest to fucking God. And finally, she's gotten sick of it, and she's like, she knows that her grandma and her grandpa are in the school at the same time. And so she's like, Gus, you'll be my witness. And she drags Gus to go find them. And sure enough, she's like, see?
Oh my god.
It might be hate fucking. They're my grandparents. Don't talk about fucking.
They make me hate fucking. Oh my god.
Hate fucking.
My grandma, my grandpa, dude.
Hate fucking. I'm sorry, but that's just funny right there. Why can I see Gus being the one to say that, too? They might be hate fucking. Like, what? Gus? Like.
Gus, come on. That's my grandparents. I don't want to think about them fucking.
Okay, so along the lines of age, because I was trying to sort that out earlier, like to see how this could be made to work. So this would significantly change, like if this was the case, if it was absolutely the case that Luce is 100% their grandkid in this, okay, it would significantly change like how these two met and got together and stuff like that if it is like factual that they are both her biological grandparents. Potentially. So it just sort of depends, and that's what I need help with. Like, because again, there are people who are very spry in like whatever age bracket you want to talk about. So like my first thought was if I tried to make it to where she had Manny at an older age, the oldest I felt like I could make it happen was she was 30, and Manny still wait, how was the way that I did this? Yeah, and then Manny still like fucked up at 15 basically, and that was the way that I did that, right? Yes, and that would put her. Anyway, we're going to account for Faust after we figure out her, but that would put her at like 60.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
hello,
no, I
Snipes.
I'm over here just imagining Tara's reaction to Manny fucking up at 15.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, we determined that Manny was 15. Hi Snipes, sorry I missed your chat. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I don't know what fandom you're in or if you're in a fandom, but this is basically an Owl House AU. Don't worry about it.
Don't you worry about it.
We'll talk an awful lot about it though, so be prepared. But yeah, so if we did that, then that would put her about 60. Now, it's not that I don't think that could happen. I just find it to be probably unlikely. So basically, another thought is that considering the subject we were just talking about before this, potentially she fucked up at 15, and so did Faust. And Practice makes perfect. That is a difficult question for me to answer, Snipes. I hope I'm saying that right, by the way. The best answer I have is that I didn't stop drawing the moment I picked up a pencil. Which was at, what, 5, 3, 4? Yay! I got it right. Woohoo! But yes, practice and perseverance and just continuing to draw does it. In other words, even if you hate it and even if you think it looks like crap, keep doing it.
Keep doing it and just keep trying to make it more what you wanted it to look like.
Yes, because stick around long enough and you'll see that there is an abundance of time that I spend, probably what some people would consider to be way too much time on a drawing, because I want it to look good. I want it to look the way I want it to look, right? So I'm always an advocate of spend as much time as you feel like you need to spend on a drawing to do what you need to do for that drawing to get it where you want it to be. Like, and then, but you know, if you've spent like forever and you still think it looks like crap, it's also okay to trash it and start over. That is okay. Oh, heck yeah.
Practice makes perfect, even when you hate it.
Even when you hate it. That is absolutely 100% accurate. I have considered making a manga, but it requires an awful lot of patience, and despite what I just said,
It's a different flavor of patience.
that's the best way to put it.
Seriously, people really need to start like understanding that there is multiple kinds of patience.
Yes, and I don't have that one.
I have plenty of sewing patience. I have plenty of crochet patience. I have plenty of beading patience. I apparently severely lack knitting patience. It is apparently a type of patience that I just genuinely don't have, and therefore it also makes it very difficult when I actually do start something to go backwards, because I'm like, but I put all that effort and work in.
By the way, just look at those two. Just look at it. Look at it. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Oh, she's so small.
They're so cute.
And I love it.
To be fair, she's actually not that tiny, but he's just that big. I'm keeping his height as, like, he's 6'7", right? That's just not changing.
Just fucking big.
Yes, keep patient and keep practicing. Just do it. Just do it. Well, and one of the things that, sometimes advice is hard to follow, or it just doesn't work for you or whatever. But if I could say one thing, just keep drawing. Just keep drawing. Keep at it. Keep doing it. No matter what. Oh, thank you for following. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you. Yes, faces are difficult. And hair is its own beast. We'll just put it that way. Hair is absolutely its own category of thing. Personally, I'm horrible at curly hair. This is wavy, which is not the same as curly. I'm horrible at curly hair. I'm getting better, but I'm generally horrible at it. Bless you. Ow.
Yeah, me and stupid hiccups.
One thing you can do, by the way, is now you gotta be careful when you do this, but if you probably keep your safe search on, but if you look up, if you go into a search engine, internet search engine, and you look up, you could put art, human anatomy, body model, or something to that effect. If you use, some of those keywords, you can find people. You can even also put anatomy poses or something like that. You can find pictures, of either people or characters that someone else has drawn, or even some people have taken pictures of the wooden models or whatever and posed them. You can get those, and if it's digital, it's really easy because you can take a screenshot and just put it into your digital program, and you can basically, what I'm advising is to trace over the bodies that you get to help yourself learn anatomy. If it's something you're doing all physical, however you get the way to do it, some people will literally put a piece of paper over their computer screen and just, you know, gently trace it that way. Or, you know, when you get an opportunity or an option to print it out, you can do it like that. But don't undervalue tracing. You know, people kind of get up in arms about like tracing other people's artwork, but the fact of the matter is, it is one of the best ways to learn. It's a great way to train your hand. It's a great way to observe while also practicing how things fit together. It's honestly a good practice tool. It's really the only problem with tracing is if you literally take whatever you did and market it as your own crap. And if you're not doing that, then there's literally nothing to be afraid of and no reason you can't do it. Tracing is definitely something you need to do.
I literally started with those old DeviantArt bases that were available back in the day, and I'm pretty sure most of them are still there.
Yeah. And you know, it's actually not cheating. Think of it this way. Everything that has to be done, whether it's a specialty or a job or a skill, has to be trained. You got to train yourself, or someone has to train you. It has to be learned. It's not cheating, it's learning. You are literally teaching yourself how to do it or training yourself how to do it. You're giving yourself an understanding that you didn't have before. So it is absolutely not cheating. And to be fair, like you see, I don't know if you have actually, but if you have, there's you'll notice. I'm gonna move over to another deal now while I'm talking. You'll notice that there's a market generally on Patreon for like people who are selling poses, like character poses, character set poses. I should probably do that, but I don't. And either way, there's a market for that. And what people do is they purchase the poses. Okay, AI art. Yeah, that's definitely. We'll not get into that one right now. There's.
Yeah.
People can buy these pose sets, which literally, like for example, actually I have a perfect example right here with this one. Let's say, you know, let's say I made a pose set for a tall man and a short lady kissing each other, okay? And said, here, you know, $5 for this pose set scene, okay? And essentially what I did was traced over it, if you will, right? So I could sell this pose set to somebody and so on and so forth. But that's basically what people do when they buy these character poses. They're buying them to trace over them. So it's not really cheating, honestly. It's just teaching yourself how to do it. Some people, and I'm sure you've seen the videos, some people don't need to sketch out a base. Some people straight up just freehand that stuff. Occasionally, I can freehand that stuff. I used to freehand all the time. But my art got significantly better when I started mapping out the pose beforehand, which is literally what all of this is. That wasn't what I was trying to do. All of this is mapping out your characters and your poses beforehand. And basically what you're doing is just tracing over them. And that's okay. In fact, that will significantly improve your art. That will help you make sure that you've got your angles correct, your proportions correct. And it will significantly increase the realism if that's what you're going for, you know what I mean? So, absolutely.
Well, and it'll also help you keep consistent proportions.
Correct. Exactly. In fact, you're going to see me start basically doing that right here. I need to... Oh, wait, you know what? I'm not going to start with this one. I'm going to start with this one.
No.
It's probably really hard to tell what's going on right here. That is okay. It is supposed to be hard to tell what's going on right there. Because it genuinely is. Child, do not. What? Okay, hold on. I will be right back. Absolutely, that's what I'm here for. I didn't have to go far. Kitty needed out the door.
Ah.
He needed
like, I need to
out.
go out.
That's exactly what was going on. Yeah.
Something else I feel the need to say, just because I watched you do it, is the drawing swirls to loosen your wrist is a very real thing.
It is absolutely a real thing. Do all the squiggles. Every single squiggle you can think of to do. So, like, just all of it. Just go for it. Do, you know, sometimes I do it just to see where my pen is or to make sure my pen is working, but it is absolutely something that that helps get the jitter out of your hand, because that is a very real thing, is having your fingers too tight, your hand too tight, and just basically you're both physically and mentally not prepared to make the line that you want to make. So do the thing. Just do it. Do all of it. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna not do that in red. I'm gonna stop doing this in red because that hurts my eyes. There will be a part that I will do in red, and there's a reason why I'm gonna do it that way, which was not requested of me, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to see how it looks. But anyway, also use as many layers as you need if you're using digital anyway. All the layers, because you can always go back and delete them, you can always merge layers, and you can always flatten the image later. Sorry, I was checking the notification.
a tool. Use your tools.
Use your tools. That's another thing too. It's not cheating, it's using the tools available to you. Okay? The difference, of course, being AI art, that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother shebang. We're gonna ignore that, but I just wanted to throw that in there. That's not a tool in the sense that I'm speaking of. What I'm speaking of is digital assets in an art program are there for a reason. Use them. They are okay to use. It's just like using a ruler, okay? Using a ruler to make a straight line. That's not cheating. You're literally just using a tool. Every profession or skill set or hobby or whatever, everything has tools, okay? It's okay to use your tools. Do not be afraid to use the tools. They are literally there and exist and were made for a reason. The reason I don't use a lot of these tools is because I don't know how to use them. Or, for me, sometimes it's just literally easier to not do it. It's like, in other words, it's easier for me to, quote, do it the hard way, or whatever you want to call it. You'll notice, here before too long, that I will quite frequently redraw a line like a million times by hand. Like, I'll basically do this. Right? Instead of doing this, oh wait, I can't do that there. Instead of doing this and then using a tool that is called the redraw vector line tool, right? This is a tool that can be used, and occasionally I do use it, but because it's awkward personally for me to use, I find it easier to just straight up physically redraw the line. So it's basically all about finding what works for you. And when you find what works for you, that's what works for you. So don't worry about it. Everyone else is just using what works for them, whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah, there's nothing that frustrates me more than people who claim that their way is the end-all be-all.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting here knitting Continental. Yeah, I am not knitting air quotes correctly, and it doesn't fucking matter because it fucking works.
That is what works for you.
I can't handle the whole turn the fucking shit around.
Oh wait, I don't want to do that on him. We're doing fairies now, by the way, for anyone who wanted to know what this was.
Ooh.
We're doing OC fairies, which is even better.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah.
Who's OCs?
Dinah's.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm actually really happy she asked me to do this.
Yeah.
You know what? This is giving me some problems. Rib cage, come here. How are you supposed to be?
You exist. You be.
Pelvis, come here. How are you doing? How are you doing, Pelvis? It's nice to see you again. Hello, Pelvis. Are you Elvis? Sorry.
I am glad that killed everybody as much as I hoped it would.
Absolutely.
We thought Elvis the Pelvis was just one of the most hilarious fucking, supposedly, like, insulting nicknames that I'd ever heard. Not just a pelvis, the pelvis.
The pelvis.
I honestly can't imagine a guy like finding that insulting.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm not a pelvis, I'm the pelvis. I shake my hips good. Yeah, I can just see a guy being like, her. Oh, at some point in time, I need to figure out how to make my knitting not so fucking tight.
Good luck on that.
Yeah, especially being that I have no fucking clue how to do it. Just absolutely no fucking clue. None whatsoever. Gotta see if I can remember what I did yesterday. And therefore how one need to curl in this direction.
Actually, I'm going to just reuse this layer. If I can get it where I need it to be. Will you move, please? Thank you. Damn. Oh god, it's so bright. Ugh. Oh god, my eraser's so small. It's still so small. Get the fuck up here. Okay. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Ew. I want to use this color, but I don't want to use this color. I hope that makes sense. I want to use a desaturated version of this color. That's better, maybe. That just looks like that one color. Damn it. Oh, that'll do.
Kids upstairs singing and I love it.
Yay. Oh, hey, back to the thing. Back to the thing that I was trying to figure out, which was the ages for people.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking that sorry, I got distracted by this color because I'm trying to see if I like this color. Does it look a little bit like aged paper? This color.
It looks like vellum.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Aged paper would be slightly more brown, less yellow. Vellum is a different kind of paper. So, that is more vellum colored than old paper colored.
Well, I can't actually put brown in here, but I can do the next best thing maybe that hopefully doesn't make it just look like skin, because that was the problem I was having the last time I tried this. Let's find out. It's not so bad. It does seem kind of pinkish.
Go grayer.
Let's do it. Come here. Grayer.
There you go.
Let's try that.
That's going to look a lot less skin and a lot more brown.
Is it better? Or more gray?
Yeah. I'd probably continue a little bit further gray, but it's not bad.
Well, and another thing too is I'm working with technically 3 different monitor settings, but right this minute I'm looking between 2 different monitor settings. And on the monitor that I'm drawing on, it's significantly paler than the monitor that I'm looking at my stream on, which is significantly warmer. So the stream makes it just look like peachy flesh color, pretty much no matter what I do. And then my downstairs monitor, that one is oversaturated to the max. So everything is just way too bright on that one. And it's oh man, like it, and I love it, but I hate it at the same time because the colors are so rich on that whenever I finally look at a different monitor or the phone, everything looks suddenly so dull. It's kind of cool but hilariously annoying as well.
Yeah. No, at least on my screen that looks fairly decent.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that then. And I'm also gonna make it go away because I'm not gonna draw with that color up there because that it will hurt my eyes. In the meantime, now I need a red. And I wish I wasn't using this red, but this is the red that I'm using. Let's see. It just looks like this red by the time I'm done with it. Actually, wait, dur. Yeah, that'll do. I think. I may not even end up doing what I'm thinking of doing, actually. Just sort of depends. Let's give it a shot, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so back to ages. Someday we'll get that figured out. So yeah, my other thought was
about how she might have done the not so great and been, you know, like 15 or 16 or something like that, and she had Manny.
yes. That was a consideration as well, which personally I consider to be far more likely in this type of setting / universe. Need to clarify. But so that would, and let's say Manny had the same damn fuck up, and she's just like, damn it, like,
Damn it, you were supposed to do better than me. I warned you about this.
I literally told you.
Damn it, child.
This is literally the only thing I didn't want you to fuck up with. And he's just like, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Insert Manny making the same face as Luz in that one drawing where Tara's holding her vines.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty much. And so that would, I'd have to think about this. Also, I'm getting my own ability to correctly proportion things incorrect. Let's not do that, shall we? Hold on.
Well, that's extra funny because that means when Luce was born, if that's the situation, that means when Luce was born, she was like at most 32.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means with Luce being in teenage years, she's only like 45.
Exactly.
She's like right in there in like the mid to late 40s, and that is just fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Oh
And
god, she's Ida's age.
huh?
I said, oh god, she's Ida's age.
Exactly. And so I don't know for sure. Well, see, and it's funny because because when you were going through that one scenario, you're like, they're too young to be your grandparents anyway. Plus, they hate each other. That, that's it. Exactly what that made me think of. I'm like, that's a possibility. So.
Well, not to mention the fact that Faust could be like a few years older than her.
He's going to be older than her at by something. So whatever that might be. I'm sorry. Please continue.
Oh, it's okay. So he could be older than her, and this is way too fucking tight. I'm gonna have to take it all out. God damn it.
Again?
Well, the thing is I have never gotten like a rhythm down with knitting. So, unfortunately, my knitting tends towards tight. My crochet tends towards tight as well, but like a lot of people who knit actually just drop the yarn between stitches, and I can't bring myself to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes an issue for me. It becomes a major issue.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so like he could be a couple years older than her, but also so it might be that they're actually the same age, but nobody believes that they're the same age. Because
he looks like he's so much older.
Because he just has this like look of being so much older than her. So like maybe he's like a year or two older than her, and he looks like he's 5-10 years older than her, and so it just doesn't make any sense that the pair of them could have possibly been together at any point in time where Luce could be the product of what happened.
Right?
And so it would just be absolutely fucking hilarious for it to be like, there's no way. First off, they're not old enough. And she's like, they absolutely are.
It's like, you have no idea, actually. They really are.
Really genuine. Like, he's so much older than her. He's really not. In fact, only like 2 years older than Grandma, okay? What they did was technically legal.
Like, to be real, they shouldn't have been doing that.
Having line, but technically legal.
Technically, he's
Well,
really lucky.
As someone who has actually sat on a jury that required her to actually know and understand the age restrictions in at least my state, 15-year-old plus 15-year-old is absolutely legal. 15-year-old plus 16-year-old is absolutely legal. 15 plus 17-year-old is questionable because of 15, but at 16, 16-year-old can absolutely make it a baby with 20-year-old. So, yeah.
I'm not sure.
I don't know why, but I feel very validated by the fact that you just said that, because I got in an argument with my IRL friends about a 20-year-old and a 16-year-old the other day.
Oh, no, that is absolutely legal via the Juliet law.
That's literally what I was saying, and they're like arguing with me. I was like, guys.
Like,
Oh,
no,
as
it
long
is
as you're-
actually
as
legal.
long as you're 4 year, as long as the age difference is only 4 years old, so long as you're the legal age of consent, which at least in Iowa is 16.
Mm-hmm.
Most
You
states,
can-
like California.
You can absolutely have, absolutely have your jollies with your 20-year-old dude can have jollies with a 16-year-old, and that's legal. Hi.
Yeah, that's how it is here too. But
Yeah.
they're
That's
like,
how
that's
it
weird
is
and
here.
creepy. And I'm like, if they went to school together, then it's not really that weird.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's the
like-
thing. Like, you have to keep in mind, it's not just two strangers meeting up and say, "Hey, let's do this." I mean, maybe it could be, but generally speaking, that's not what what's happening. Generally speaking, it's people who know each other. So at that point, the question is it someone literally taking advantage of someone else, or
The question
Was
at
it
that point is,
strangers, I could
was
see
there
it being
consent?
questionable. But if it's someone you grew up with, then I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the thing is if my problem always is that if we're going to say it's okay, it needs to just be okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, I personally think it's okay, period. I say I can see how some people would see it as questionable.
Yeah, I can understand that people might see the 4-year age gap as questionable, especially when they're young like that. But at 15, you can only have like a 2-year age gap.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can actually, like, even with the Juliet laws in place, if the guy is the older one, and her parents have a problem with it, they can still sue.
Yes.
Discussion of consent laws. So if you're not interested in listening to discussion of consent laws, I suggest you vamos. That's what we're talking about right now.
Vámonos.
Va. Yeah, like 16 through 18 is absolutely legal so long as the other person is within 4 years. And like I think I want to say 15 down to 13 is within 1 to 2 years. Below 13 is just, you're not supposed to be having sex. If we find out that you're having sex, that was wrong.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether or not you and the other person were both same age. You're not supposed to. But, like, nobody's going to get in trouble if it's the same age. For the most part.
And
Thanks.
see, it's highly likely in like not everything of her. I can't say canon. Okay. When I mean the after the end situation, which both of you are aware of.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call that fan canon, okay? Because I don't want to confuse anything by saying canon, because it's my canon technically. So I'm gonna call it fan canon. So when I say fan canon, that's what I'm referring to, because generally speaking, that is how I see the reality of Tara's life, if you will.
Yeah.
And anything else beyond that is an AU. So, if it's not going to align, obviously it can't align perfectly with fan canon because this is a human AU, right?
Right.
There are going to be some elements that are sort of there, but not the same. So, I have a feeling, based on everything that we just discussed right now, what my brain is providing to me, which I do not know yet if this is going to be intrinsic to this AU or not, because it's still not entirely like. Never mind, forget it. Anyway, moving on, continuing what I was saying. Oh yeah, I was trying to find the reference picture. Sorry, I'm doing like 10 things at once apparently in my brain, which isn't helpful when I'm trying to talk. What was I saying? What was I talking about? What am I doing? Where am I? Did I lose y'all? Oh, did I actually lose audio? Katie's muted. And Lynn, I cannot hear you. And your thing isn't lighting up either. So, if you can hear me, I cannot hear you. Okay. Boop, 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 boop. There you are.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, right.
So apparently my stuff just decided to go, nah.
yeah.
But yeah, what you were doing was you were looking for the reference
Yes.
for the characters.
I have reference
So.
photos. Okay. So now what was I saying? Oh yeah. So fan canon is not going to be exactly replicated anyway, but it's also very much not going to be super closely adhered to either.
Yeah.
So, but what I'm sort of getting at, my brain is trying to provide to me, is that Faust was indeed 4 years older than her, which makes it a problem if she was 15. But they probably fudged their own numbers a little bit and said that she was 16. But the whole thing that probably made this come about is the whole growing up with each other thing. I'm thinking that's probably exactly what happened. Is they grew up together. I still can't seem to find Donna's folder. I don't know why. There it is. They grew up together, and Faust was aware of certain realities of her childhood, as it turns out. It's not going to be to the extreme. That's what I mean by it's not going to exactly adhere. It's definitely not going to be to the extent that fan canon is. More along the lines of the manipulation and the verbal and emotional abuse and like things like that. Definitely more closer to those lines than it is carrying through to the more thing that we all hate.
Yeah. Well, and I would suggest having it be that they don't know for sure whether or not she got pregnant while she was still 15 or when she was actually 16. Like, have it be that like they ended up like that's where I would put it personally. If
Right.
I was you.
Well, and the
Simply
thing is,
because-
go ahead. Sorry.
Simply because I do know that is a fairly hard limit. So if he's 4 years older than her, it is illegal.
Mm-hmm.
So I would
Actually,
put it at worst. It's questionable whether or not it's questionable whether or not there is the actual problem, or if if the situation was actually okay. Like, there's not necessarily proof that,
Well, and here's
that
the thing.
they
Let me
were.
continue it on just real quick. So, I'm thinking probably what happened is that there did end up being physical abuse, but it didn't end up being that thing that we all hate. And
Yes.
what it is the discovery of her being pregnant came along with the sorry. I'm like, meow.
Concentrating on drawing mouth. I understand.
Meowth. But anyway, the concept of the reality, finding out of her being pregnant, is what started everything. But then this is when he finally took the opportunity to do something he'd always wanted to, which is bring to light the abuse that she's suffering, and it, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of turned into more of a, oh shit kind of situation of, oh, what is she living in kind of situation. And the reality of those two, whatever they were getting into, is far overshadowed by what she's actually going through at home. And it turned, like, you know what do you get what I'm trying to say here?
No,
Like-
I get where you're going with that. The only thing that I see as
Oh,
a
I don't
real
want her to
issue
continue to be
here-
15, no. Like, she would be 16 by the time, like, this is found out, but they would try to wreck him for her being 15. And in my mind, it probably just wouldn't work. Because...
Actually, no, that's the problem.
Mhm.
That's the reason why I'm like, she really does need to be 16.
No, I mean 15 when their relationship started.
Okay. But no, she really, like, her parents have, even abusive, her parents still have a ridiculous level of parental rights. And so they could still put him in jail for having a relationship with her because she's pregnant, and they suspect she was underage when the relationship started.
Gotcha.
So,
and see, that's why I'm saying I don't know that this is intrinsic to the story. This is just trying to figure out if this is something that maybe happened, because I do feel like he's older than her, but I don't feel like he's as older, like older than her as he tends to be in most of the canons.
yes. I totally understand that. I would definitely have their age be relatively close. To the point that it's probably, like, unquestionable whether or not it was okay for them to have a relationship, because even if it's actually unquestionable whether or not the law's on their side, her parents can still throw a fit. Because that is actually one of the stipulations to the Juliet law, is the parents can throw a fit and get him in trouble still.
Mm-hmm.
How fucking
So-
sexist that is.
What?
Is that?
I said, can I point out how fucking sexist that is?
Oh, it's absolute. It's the like, honestly, it's the fucking. Well, see, the thing is the problem here is that the same can be said the opposite direction, but generally speaking, they don't ever plan for that sort of eventuality, because most of the time, the law does not recognizes men as full humans prior to it recognizing women as full human. And it is one of those things that fucking pisses me off. It is absolutely sexist. I fucking hate it, but it is still a reality. So it's like the Duluth model is absolutely in effect here in the Iwegias. So if I hit my husband and the cops come and I'm perfectly fine, but there was a domestic situation, it is very likely they will take my husband to jail, regardless of whether or not he was the one doing any of the hitting.
Yeah.
And that is one of the many things that just irritates the absolute piss out of me. But yeah, no, because her, being that she is she would theoretically be younger, and he would be older. And it's funny because he could have always looked even older than he is, kind of like my kiddo. My kiddo is 18, and people think he's, have thought he was 18 for like 3 years. But
I had someone just out of
with
60.
him being.
What'd she say? I heard your friend. I heard Abigail.
Abigail said that someone, if you want to reverse it on the creepiness level, someone was looking at her like she was 16 when she was 11.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I had people do that to me when I was about 13. So,
Yup.
so I'm absolutely like totally, yeah. It's fucking creepy.
I'm
Fucking
gonna work on
obnoxious.
that later.
But yeah, so if you don't want his parents to have sway, she should definitely be 16, because at 16 you could be emancipated. And so,
Which would absolutely have been her plan at that point. Like, that would have been
Well,
their
absolutely.
plan, is to get her
believe
emancipated,
it.
because,
I believe it.
no, I don't want you
but-
in this situation anymore, kind of thing.
But with her being pregnant, it'll actually make it easier for her to be emancipated, because
Unplanned assistance.
yeah, unplanned. It should theoretically be easier, because if she has proof of abuse, and asks to be emancipated while pregnant, that tends to be kind of a thing where they're like, oh, well, you obviously have a partner because you're pregnant.
Right?
Regardless of whether or not you actually have one. Pregnant, you're obviously making adult decisions. Cool. To do.
I'm sorry to hijack this conversation, but I need to share this info.
Do it.
Go ahead, please.
I mentioned in the other channel that I'm helping Abigail clean out all of her cousin's shit, right?
Mhm.
And that we don't think she's actually going to get, so we're planning to sell it. Abigail pulls this creepy-ass old life-size doll out of the closet, and it's fucking creepy. But I was like, you know what? Let's Google it. I'll take a picture of her in a second. But I was like, you know what? Let's Google it, see if she's worth anything. This fucking creepy-ass doll is worth $500.
That doesn't surprise
What
me.
doll is it? Show me this fucking doll. I want to know.
But yes, let's see it.
It's from the 1960s. It's vintage, clearly. And, but yeah, we were like, Paige doesn't need to know this was even left in the house. We're just gonna go hide this.
Yeah.
Like, this is ours now.
Alright, wait, okay.
Creepy doll is totally
this
ours
freaking doll. We gotta clean her up a little bit, like her clothes need to be washed, and we're gonna look up how to, like, properly cleanse the face and stuff, but...
And the hair.
And the hair, but... Where'd my Discord go? There it is. I'm gonna drop it in the text over talk.
Okay.
But yeah, here's the creepy yet weirdly pretty doll.
Yeah.
Let's see the creepy, weirdly pretty doll. Oh, God.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Actually, is her hair rooted, or is it a wig?
It is rooted.
It's rooted.
Okay. Most likely you should not clean her.
Don't clean her?
Yeah, I would abstain from cleaning her until you are sure that is the thing you need to do. Is she plastic, or is she something heavier? Is she porcelain?
She's plastic.
Okay. Yeah, so you definitely want to be very careful, because some of those plastics don't
It'll
know
come
for
off.
sure what that plastic is, and therefore you don't know what is safe to use on it. So, generally speaking, most should be.
I was gonna say, can we use a gentle cloth and like plain water just to get the dust off, do you think?
That would be, you would be likely safe on that. Be very do not use like a microfiber cloth on her face, because that could wipe her face up off. But yeah, like a regular, like a soft dishcloth with some water. And then for her hair, I would probably at most, what I would do is kind of give it a gentle brushing, and to shake the shit loose from it, and then I would pretty much call that good.
Yeah. Like maybe a tiny bit of water. Like
in the yeah.
Yeah, like
the crevice.
mist the brush when you brush your hair type thing to help.
Yeah,
But I would dry brush it first because that's gonna knock out the most dust.
Right.
But yeah, no, actually, she's in incredibly good condition for like a 1950s doll. Part of the reason why I would not clean her up significantly is because that is kind of a consideration when looking at the situation with these old things. Is first off, you could damage it, and second off,
a collector would know how to clean it up if they wanted.
a collector is going to know how to clean it better than you will. And not to mention, if they have to clean it, then they have to take responsibility for any damages done.
You're right. This is very true.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So-
so a light, gentle.
Gentle,
Just
soft
a
dishcloth
gentle
water.
dusting, honestly.
Yeah.
So I
Just
would just
dust her
primarily
off.
focus
Like,
on
she
her eyes,
doesn't-
dust it,
It
brush
actually
it.
doesn't look terrifically dirty.
No,
Not
really,
in the
there's
picture,
just there's like a layer of dust over her eye. Are her eyes glass?
They might
They're
be.
probably, if she is plastic,
Plastic, I think.
I was gonna say, if she is plastic, they are probably a type of plastic, and that's why they've collected dust so badly.
Yeah. So that's primarily what we need to
water, I
probably
would not
clean
do
up.
anything more than
Yeah, and then light
Right.
cleaning of everything else.
Right.
yeah. Honestly, it probably wouldn't even, like, the dress doesn't look like it's particularly dirty, at least not from this angle.
It's
I
a
probably
little
would-
yellowed. I think it was a white dress, but honestly, we're not sure this is the original dress or not.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I mean, it's probably not.
And it looks
Wa-
like it would be safe to hand wash.
Yeah.
But it's definitely old.
Oh yeah, definitely old, but I've hand washed stuff before, so
At least so.
Yeah, I would
definitely
not
think
touch
that is
this.
something where I would do minimal cleaning on it.
yeah.
Just to make
Just
it
simply
slightly more
because of-
presentable.
The dangers of, making it a little bit more presentable, but then the dangers of actually doing any sort of thorough cleaning, trying to make her look better is likely to cause damage to her.
Right. That'll come off the water.
Oh yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for advice. Advice is good.
I choked
I
when I
have a
heard
friend-
that.
I actually have a friend who
I-
does
Laying
doll
around
restoration.
Dolls.
She does it for her personal dolls though, so she likes to take severely damaged dolls and make them into new dolls.
Ah.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool though.
So like I have seen several dolls and I'm like, oh no, that one looks like it's doing pretty good actually, because I'm like, you're like, it's a creepy doll here, I'm expecting it to be like half melted.
No, it's the eyes that are sort of like
Dead looking.
yeah, because of the white covering the green.
Yeah.
It looks sort of possessed.
Absolutely, no. Well, and that sort of doll always has that sort of vaguely, possibly possessed, like you're not really sure thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we couldn't find a brand on her because we were looking for like one of those tags, you know? And yeah, Abigail lifted the hair and there was a serial number. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna type the serial number and doll into Google and it popped right up and I was like,
Yeah. The price of that doll. And,
choked.
heart attack.
I'm like, this is our doll now.
I was gonna say, it was like, no one needs to know this was here. Because this doll's not even Paige. This is just in Paige's room, but like Abigail lived in this house when she was a kid and she used to play with this doll when she was a kid, so.
So there's no telling whose doll that actually is at this point.
At this point, the doll belongs to the house. At this point, the house is Abigail's, at least for the time being.
Right. There are no references for his feet, so I'm just sort of winging his feet.
His feet can be whatever you want them to be.
Right? Donna's just gonna have to tell me when she gets a chance. I think she passed out. She said she was coming, but then she hasn't shown up, so I think she
I
passed
mean,
out.
it is kind of late for her right now.
It is. Plus, you know, she needs sleep. She
She
needs.
really does. Like, hearing her talk about how little sleep she's got just, like, puts me so fucking on edge.
Yeah.
That's the issue with having friends across the pond.
Yeah. Those can go away. Wait, yes, do that. That's fine. Do the thing.
Communication has to be calculated.
Exactly. I don't think my sewing machine is showing up today.
Is that good or bad?
It hasn't shown up yet.
Aw.
I told Abigail I could hang out until the sewing machine got to my house, but I'm really starting to think the sewing machine's not gonna show up.
Oh yeah, I need to send a picture of this to Farrell. And be like, hey, we're talking about.
Oh
your-
yeah, suddenly instead of being 1 day shipping, it's now arriving Tuesday.
Oh.
Hmm.
That's
mean,
cool.
okay.
Fine. Thanks, Amazon. Very helpful.
Thanks, Amazon.
I'm so fucking smitten with that goddamn picture.
So am I. It just came out so good. And I have the. I had said that I went ahead with the messy pen, but I actually left the.
Another doll in here that looks even
Oh dear.
creepier and weirder than this one.
Yeah,
I
see if
left
you can find
the.
it.
Where is what I'm looking for? There it is. I left this other layer on here. With the finer pen, so I'm gonna go
Mhm.
back over this at some point in time when I have more time with the finer pen to do like finer details and shit.
Neat.
'Cause look at that kiss, there's smooches. So okay, anyway,
Mhm. Oh jeez.
smooches. Oh, the smooches.
She's nudgy.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So, like I said, the concept of her of them, like of her being that young, of him being that young, like that concept is not set in stone. I have decided my authority as the god of this AU universe has made everything not set just yet.
It's a plan.
But that would be hilarious. And that's why, because everyone literally thinking that they're both, like, first of all, that they hate each other, which is just hilarious. But second of all, that she is absolutely too young and that they're both too young. And isn't he too old for her anyway, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And just all of that mixing together is just really, like, just funny to think about.
It's really playing.
No. It's just one of those things where it's like, makes me giggle. Will it happen? Maybe not. Do we want it to happen? I don't know.
Could it be funny? Yes. The question is not would it be funny, it's whether or not we're actually going to do it.
Yeah. Like, am I as the god of this AU universe going to allow this to happen? Which is hilarious because at this point I have this is the fun part that I don't usually get to experience, because usually it is like the things do get set in stone, and so basically the story literally revolves around the things that are set in stone, and I can't change it because it changes too much of the actual story itself. In this case, we ain't at that part yet, so I can actually play with this. All right, but anyway, another option, of course, is that they were younger than average, just not that young. So, like 18 or something. Like she was 17 or 18. Let's say she was 18, right? And then he was, let's say he was like 25 or something. Or, no, sorry, not 25. Like, well, maybe 25. I don't know.
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's 18, she's an adult, so 18, 25 kind of thing. Like maybe that's what it was. In that case, if they were that far apart, I would doubt they actually did grow up together, but I would definitely think that they got to know each other very well, or at least they spent a little bit of time getting to know each other.
That he's got a younger sibling.
Maybe.
And so
Perhaps.
if he's got a younger sibling that's on the opposite end of her, so, he's, 25, but he's got a 17-year-old sibling.
Mm-hmm.
So she's older friend of the sibling, she might occasionally get tired of hanging out with the other younger kids and end up hanging out with him.
Right.
Absolutely a thing. It's also absolutely a thing for the elder sibling to end up getting stuck babysitting the younger sibling, because that is absolutely a thing that I ended up doing. I ended up actually going on one of my sister's dates with her.
Oh my
Told her
gosh.
and then I was like, no. The date.
You told the
No.
date no? You're like, nah, go away.
Yeah, I told him no. He tried to give her an air quotes Tic Tac that came out of an Altoids mint canister and was neither an Altoid nor a Tic Tac.
Yeah,
Oh, what the fuck?
let's no to that.
Yeah, I told him no.
I am happy you were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like how you came in right at that moment, Katie. You're just like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, no, I never left. I just had myself muted because Abigail and I are going back and forth, so every time I have something to add, I just unmute myself.
Point. Should have probably figured out what I wanted to make for supper because it's already 5:30.
That might be a good idea.
This is bad. Okay, move that stuff out of my way. Then I'm going to travel you guys upstairs with me because good times. And the fact that my husband isn't down here yet means that I definitely need to be thinking about food prior to him getting down here.
Mm-hmm.
Because so far he is late getting off of work. Which is usually a good indication that he's going to be in a pretty crappy mood when he gets back. So me at least thinking about it will be helpful. You got me?
Yep.
Awesome. I'm going to...
Abigail's girlfriend just called and she told her about the doll, and then she's like, we found this creepy ass tall doll. And she's like, and then we found out it's worth a fuck ton of money, and her girlfriend goes, I thought you were about to tell me it was haunted, not worth a fuck ton of money.
Ha!
Well, that doesn't mean that both aren't true.
Right?
Exactly. So, yeah, maybe get rid of that as fast as possible. I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's been living in the basement for so long that if it was gonna kill her, it probably would have done it by
I
now.
was gonna say, yeah, like...
I mean, fair. If it's haunted, it's not a malevolent spirit, that's for sure.
Oh shit, I forgot the thing that I was gonna do. Wow, damn it. Ugh, I have to redo this whole set of lines now.
Boy, howdy.
Okay, well, before I start doing that, I'm going to...
Hello, my love. Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Get a PC before your girlfriend gets you.
I'm already on headset with them.
Hi.
She says hi.
But
Brat.
homewrecker.
You're such a turd.
I'm sorry, I'll need to get you.
No. Hold up just a second. Any ideas for supper?
Plenty. Actionable ideas, not so much.
Okay. Can I get kisses again?
I mean, steak and potato soup would require time travel.
Yes, it
And-
would. It would require time travel, yes. And potatoes.
Parties would require driving.
The pants. Those are evil.
I'm not really in the mood for Pizza Hut.
Yeah, same.
I am in the mood for like chicken and fries from Popeyes, but also
Pants. Evil. Yes.
I think it's a big stupid drink at this point, but
Pants.
pants. And a piece of Shay's ass can't be delivered.
No, that's not deliverable.
Yeah, not really.
Hi,
Unless we're going
Shay.
to lecture on this,
Got a
but...
lot of ideas too, right? I just don't think you're up for fast food.
Because, again, pants. Evil. Okay, but why are you guys so loud?
Correct.
Don't mind me, I'm just eating.
Okay, well, why don't y'all go walking?
I literally give you all my goddamn money.
I know you do. But pants are evil.
Luckily, you're wearing a dress.
There's no way in hell I'm going outside in this dress, first off. And second off, in a dress, it's fucking winter, it's Iowa.
I'll put you in a burqa.
No. You shall not.
I'll give you my hoodie.
Thou shalt not. It does not matter.
That's funny. Alright,
Don't
I'm gonna
make-
try a
don't
trick.
make faces at me,
I don't know if
dork.
it's gonna work, but I'm gonna give it a shot.
No, yes. This.
You know, when I was a teenager, I learned how to juggle. How'd you know?
Because we've been together since you were a teenager. You jackass.
You guys are funny. Oh, hey, that might actually work.
Shay's ass, so.
We're over here making this doll naked while we see if she's ideal or not, and it's funny as fuck.
Oh, is it?
That's bad, babe.
I am a terrible person. I have no
Dang it.
idea, babe.
Okay.
You may have to put on clothes if you're feeling this. I know that's paradoxical.
Where's my levels? There they are.
Monster!
Dang it, there's literally nothing I can do in this situation to make this better.
What up?
Hello.
Hi, this is Jenny's phone.
Hi, Jenny's phone.
I have taken it away from her.
I am guessing that you grew a pair of legs and decided to run off and get up some shenanigans.
I am made of shenanigans. Bring me a drink, please.
All the shenanigans. Don't mind me, I'm just trying to figure out how to do a thing without doing a thing, and it isn't working, so I just have to do what I didn't want to do, which is redraw a thing. But that's okay.
Things.
All the things.
Phone backwards.
Ouch, hey! That
Ow.
was way too close to center, dear.
Oh boy. Careful now.
He swatted
I'm
me.
helping you warm up.
Thank you, because I needed help with that. He swatted me, but he got way too close to center, so he hit me like right across my tailbone.
Ow.
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah, it was a little ouchy, that's why I told him ouchy. He just aimed bad.
Ow. Sorry, I don't know why I had to do that. Alright, anyway.
He's okay. What about you? Are you less of a jackass than these other two? Suffer.
Just wanted to do. You wanted that. Okay, what for that?
The moment of
Together, boys.
Lol.
Y'all are dorks.
We're bullying you.
This is bullying?
I'm not gonna hit you, you dumbass.
So you guys doing these silly squats are you bullying me, okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. Good to know.
Because they are making you watch the silly squats.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the bullying
I don't
part.
know. I'm just letting them do this. I'm like, okay, go ahead, work out. Hey.
Yeah, work off some of that energy.
Really in.
Now my husband is twerking on me.
Oh my goodness.
Such a dork.
Gentlemen, work. You. Men in front. Come on.
He doesn't have anything to throw back, dear.
I hate that I know exactly what which one you mean by that.
I'm like, oh, you jackass. Get downstairs.
Alright, bully.
You know, at this point, I might say that it does in fact qualify as bullying.
What? What did you say?
I mean,
What
I said, what is that marriage event? I guess stuff like that.
It's like 1 in 10 marriages end because of stuff like this.
Oh boy. This is what I mean when I say this is a messy pen, by the way, for anyone who needs to notice it.
And Macarena.
However, I've decided I'm using a different pen for the finer details of the eyes and shit. Just because it's not quite as messy, but it's still messy. So we can get some extra detail out of it without it just being a total mess.
Ah, there we go, your soul.
You're wearing my soul.
Yes.
Okay. Good enough.
He may not have my back, but me and my oldest will come in here and twerk again.
Yeah, I
Ow.
know. Yeah, how about you go downstairs before you accidentally step on my foot again?
Yeah, you watched that.
I will watch
I'm at an
that.
edge.
I know that. I'm aware. Heard. Go on, let me actually think about what I'm gonna make for supper.
We know what you're thinking about supper.
Here's your dad's cup.
There's no reason, Mom.
No, that's why I gave you the cup. I said cup. I totally said cup. Wow.
It's looking more and more like lotion.
It is kind of. I'm thinking about pouring it out.
Should probably throw it out.
Yeah, I'm thinking about pouring it out. So we did not drink the homemade creamer very quickly,
Oh no.
and so now we have gone out and gotten creamer because I have stopped being lazy and gotten creamer. Please don't spill that. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of other shit that we did. So
The fact that it's starting to look like lotion really disturbs me.
well, because okay, so here's the reason why it's starting to look like lotion. What people don't realize is that vanilla browns things. So,
Okay.
when you put vanilla in something that is white, it will turn brown
Mhm.
over time. And we put vanilla in it because that was the easiest thing to put in it, and so it has kind of a slightly off cream color, but that off cream color is getting more and more off of the cream
Mhm.
because the vanilla is in there, and as time goes on, the vanilla will get more and more brown.
Mhm.
And so it is getting more and more slightly brown.
See,
No, I
that
did
wasn't
not.
what I was
Yeah.
thinking when you said it looked more like lotion. I was actually thinking that it was like thick and goopy.
Well, I mean, it looks thick and goopy. It's not super thick and it's not super goopy. It's kind of creamer consistency.
Mhm.
But when sitting still in the bottle that you can see into, it kind of looks a little bit. It's about the right color to kind of look like hand cream. So it's a little on the disturbing side.
Right?
And it definitely had a sweetened condensed milk flavor to it.
You mentioned that, yeah.
Which made it so that it wasn't bad, but it also wasn't good. Like, you need to put. I only put 2 teaspoons of vanilla in it, and honestly, I should have put at least 3. I probably should have at least put a tablespoon in, if not more,
Mhm.
because it needed something to. It did not flavor the coffee in any sort of vanilla-ish way. Oh, cute kitty!
There's a kitty. There's a cute kitty.
The outside.
Ah.
Yeah. Tromping through all of our snow that we've got out here. being cute and kitty-like.
Not
But
your
yeah,
kitty,
so-
obviously.
Oh no, obviously not. My kitties are inside being cute and fat. And,
Yeah.
you know, entitled. Because that is what my cats are, is fat and or entitled. And make no mistakes, they are definitely entitled. Will you please drain? I do not want to put my hand in this ridiculously cold water that I just poured in here. Apparently somebody failed to clear the drain out. So, here we go. Thank you. Even though you're draining slower than someone else. Yuck.
I totally forgot to check the reference and see if he's got meatballs. He does, okay.
I just looked back at the drawing for the first time in a while. What are we drawing?
We are drawing fairies. Give me just a second. Can you see it?
We were drawing specifically Donna's fairies.
Yes. They're just sort of lounging in a field right now. I didn't sketch in any of the grass or anything. I'll get to that, but they're just lounging. I totally forgot that lounging in a field for these guys, because her fairies are actually like fairy sized. That means that they're really just on the dirt and there's like large blades of grass around them.
Yep.
Whoops. Okay, but
Lounging in a field essentially equals forest for them.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that.
That's part of the reason why when I was trying to figure out what Fen and how big Fen and Lucian would be, I was trying to remember back to how big I could need my skin starved fairies.
Mm-hmm.
And then remembered that the skin starved fairy, whose name is currently completely vacated me, which I can probably look up, but I'm just too lazy to right now. That at one point in time she fought a leaf. So if she's going to fight a leaf, then she's obviously small.
Mm-hmm. And actually, now that I think about it, I think these ones are more action figure sized, if that makes sense. They're
Yeah. Oh, that totally makes sense.
so not that small, but still smaller.
Yeah, small.
Small. I know it looks a little weird at first. Like when I was sketching it out, it started to look just a wee bit suggestive, and I'm like, like, I assure you. This is one of those trust the process videos.
Yep.
Like on this one, we know exactly what's going on, but like it's nothing terrible either. This one started to look like an interesting thing was going on.
Hello, fat and fluffy. Do you need me to move my coat? Is that what's going on? Is my coat in your way?
Absolutely.
Almost assuredly.
Mother, how dare.
He will only sit on the other chair, the one that's not the people chair, because like I have one that's kind of like my bag and the cats are allowed on it, and then the other one is for people asses, and he likes to sit on the people asses one because he is fat, and so he does not necessarily fit on the one for cats and my purse, because sometimes my coat falls down. And he's like, nope, my fat ass doesn't fit on there. And I'm like, yeah, it totally will. You sit on fabric stuff all the time. He's like, nope, nope, nope.
Nope, 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 nope.
No, sir, I don't like it. Oh my gosh, I am unfortunately on a absolute like I'm getting to that whole, I have an idea, I know where this is supposed to go, but I kind of want to drag out what's going on, and I don't know what to do in the interim while I'm trying to drag out what's going on.
Is this
with
the story that I
I'm
think it
writing
is?
right now? The new one, yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, it's not even that new. It's the
I
one
know
that
what
I
you
was
mean,
like the other day. I was like, I found the perfect line, but I don't know if this is the right spot for it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, I decided that after you and I talked, I was like, yes, this is the perfect spot for it. That is absolutely the tenor that I'm wanting to go with. I absolutely want to go with the I don't really want to do this, but I've been preparing to do this for a long time, so either give me what I want or I'm going to have to take.
Oh boy.
Actually, what she says is kind of tragic too.
Oh shit.
What she says is something to the effect of, I've been preparing for so long that if I can't break this, that I will have to cut my heart out of your chest.
Damn.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, ow.
Yes, hurt me like that. That's basically what
Yeah,
happened.
It just ended up being a, oh, that hurts so correctly. It doesn't feel good, but that's exactly the feeling that I wanted from this. Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
So, see, the problem with my husband and my kids all being like, yeah, we want food from outside the house, is now I'm thinking about food from outside the house. And we have already established that neither Hubs nor I feel like pizza, so the easy, quickie thing that I have in the house is freezer pizza. And
Oh boy.
I don't really want freezer pizza because I don't want pizza. Because if I wanted pizza, then I would want Pizza Hut right now. And I don't really want Pizza Hut. But I also don't want any of the things that he and the kids suggested because I am persnickety.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a problem. Because now I just don't want anything. And let me tell you, it is hard to cook when you don't want anything.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, I figured if anybody understood that feeling, you certainly would.
Oh yes. I don't want literally any of this or anything, actually. I just want peanut butter. Look.
Peanut butter.
Speaking of which, my snack is nuts. I am nomming on nuts.
Nom, nom, nom.
Randomly as we go. Whoops, I still have the
Well,
eraser
I know
on.
there's something that my husband will tolerate is a bacon sandwich. The only problem is that's only enough for him. Only an idea for him, because the rest of us don't eat bacon sandwiches.
Don't what?
Don't really eat bacon sandwiches.
Ah.
Because when I say bacon sandwiches, I mean literally it's 3 slices of bacon folded in half on buttered toast. It is a bacon sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing else on it. But I could make bacon sandwiches for him, and then egg in a basket for anybody who wanted it. That could work. Nibs. Egg in a basket? Sure. Okay. I see how excited you are about that idea. What's going on? Your tablet not working?
Uh-oh.
My computer doesn't work anymore.
What? It's the whole computer?
I can't use it.
Okay, calm down. Let me have a look-see.
Yeah, anyone will be able to figure it out, it'll definitely be you.
Yeah, it's not looking good though. Oh, foot. Foot trying to break. Did you get to this page?
What did you do?
Full crap.
Yeah, I did the reset.
I didn't do a reset. I did a full hold down the power button until the power goes actually off. I did a full shutdown, which, your thing doesn't necessarily when you press it, when you tell it to restart or shut down, especially with these laptops, they do not always fully shut down. So when something like that happens, sometimes you just need to press and hold the power button until it turns off, because that will full shut down. So it doesn't always work. Sometimes they get fucked up. So like that is not always the thing that fixes it.
So
More mixed nuts.
what happened was
Back in a minute.
Adblock doesn't work on Google Math game
Yeah.
because it doesn't let you do anything if you have it.
Yeah.
Only way to really get around that is to open up the tab at school. Because for some reason, if you open up the tab school, it just removes the ad.
That's because essentially while you're at school, you are running off of their when you're running off of their ISP, you essentially probably have a when you're on their ISP, it's what's the word I'm looking
That's
for?
what's letting you in. You're in their network.
Essentially, since you're on their network, you're also running off of their subscription to the thing. So that's probably why is you're actually using their subscription, their educator subscription.
No. Cashews are great.
They are. I love cashews so much.
Okay.
To the point where I can absolutely make myself sick on them. I've absolutely done that before.
They're
Made
your
myself
human
sick
realm
on my stomach
bane
from-
right there.
It's a, it comes with
Leaf.
It is actually. His wings are supposed to look exactly like leaves. Good observation.
That's cool.
attachment to go on the books.
Yep. Well, shit. I don't remember what he is. I think he's a dryad fairy, and that's the point. Is they are so
Wait, what's
reminiscent
this
of.
from?
Okay, so it's actually an original created world based on other legend type stuff. So it
Okay.
may not be a dryad that you are. Well, let me put it this way: it would not be a dryad that you are familiar with, because this is a part of the original works world, essentially created between Donna and Tiff.
Okay.
So that's what these characters belong to. They are fairy races, as created by those two. So you can't really see her wings, but I think, and I could be wrong, but I think her fairy type is oh shit, I forgot what it was called now. Fuck. To keep it simple though, I believe he is a dryad fairy, and her fairy type I think is something with dragon in it, but it's really hard right now for me to remember the rest of that term. The traditional
I
fairies,
remember what you're talking about.
right? Yeah. The traditional fairies that you see in media, the kind with butterfly wings, basically, those are also a fairy race. They're the Solara fairies or Solaris fairies, something to that effect. There's also the Naiads, which are water-based fairies. So like, there's a whole like
Started blocking ads.
realm of different fairy species within this like universe that they've created.
That's pretty cool.
Right? I think so.
I support this idea.
Oh yeah. Tiff is actively working on her stories for it. She's got several, because essentially what she's got going on is an interconnected world, or like several stories that are all interconnected to each other in some way. So it's been done in media before, but basically by the when you're coming into the final books of the series, coming into the conclusion of the series, all the characters from all the books are finally meeting up with each other. We'll put it that way. And
So it's like a further more extended idea from what my novels are.
yes,
It's essentially an extended universe, yeah.
Yes. But like what you were saying, yes. Another thing too is a lot of I don't know if all of them are, but a predominant amount of them it's a story that's taking place through time, as well as in the lives of several people who are, in the end, you find out, all related to each other, and in some way. So it's basically, several different people at several different elements of time, like yours, where years down the line, things are happening and so on. Also kind of like that one series that movie series you were telling me about. Remember you were telling me about that the other night?
Yes, yeah, the one where it takes place in the 1800s or the 1700s, and then it's the 1980s, and then it's present day. Yeah.
Yes, literally like that as well. Yes. Mm-hmm. So more of that going on here as well. Why is it doing that? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know the whole over arc of the story. I just know bits and pieces. But it's pretty neat. She's actively working on it right now. None of it's published just yet, but it's in the works. I don't actually know how many books altogether the whole of the series is. I'd have to ask her. And for that matter, she may not even be 100% aware of it just yet. But neat stuff.
Cool.
Now, these two, though, aren't from Tiff's deal. These two are Dana's characters in her own story, which basically takes place in that same universe. I think.
It essentially cribs, from my understanding, it cribs off of the same universe physics and universe stuff, but isn't necessarily like something where somebody could cross over and be existent both.
Yeah, like in other words, Tiff's characters would never meet Dana's characters.
So it's like those Star Wars novels that take place in Star Wars, but the characters never interact with any of the characters that we know from Star Wars.
Yeah, that kind of thing, yeah. Very, very, very similar to that sort of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Even though those books were actually my favorite to read, because they read more like fan fiction.
I believe that.
My favorite Star Wars novel is literally a forbidden romance between the Empire and the Resistance, okay? It reads like a fucking fanfic.
That sounds like it reads like a fan fiction.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Romeo and Juliet fan fiction.
Huh?
Shit, it sounds like a Romeo and Juliet fanfiction.
Yes. I literally read it in like one sitting. It was so good.
Damn.
It was a thick boy.
Yeah.
Like this book was like the size of the 5th Harry Potter novel.
Oh shit.
Oh look, that's pretty sizable.
That is
Yes,
quite
it was a thick
sizable.
boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck, I have no idea what I'm gonna make.
I believe in
started
you.
thinking that I was gonna make bacon and egg in a basket, but Nibs is very unenthusiastic about the egg in a basket. I want him to actually eat food. Which, if I make something that he's not in the mood for, he will start to eat it and then not finish it. And also making egg in a basket and then bacon sandwiches means multiple meals to be made.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also one of those things where none of them are particularly big and in-depth, so it's not like it's a huge fucking deal, but I still don't feel like doing any of this, so I definitely don't feel like doing multiple meals. But I don't have any other ideas.
Oh boy.
This is just garbage situation. At least bacon sandwich is gonna go. Oh, I have lettuce. I will make husband salad and bacon sandwich. Oh, that will make husband appreciate that.
Yay!
Like as if husband didn't like bacon enough as it was. Husband loves bacon sandwich and loves bacon only on salad. So husband will be much pleased.
Yay!
That it will be one person who will not be complaining about supper, which is an important part. Because there's nothing worse than putting in a bunch of fucking effort and then having people bitch about all the effort you put in.
You're like, gee, if I'd have known you were gonna hate it, I wouldn't have done it.
Right?
The cats ate my potchki.
First of all, what's potchki? And second of all, no.
A potchki is kind of like a donut, but not quite. It's kind of like a jelly-filled donut thing. They're used around the time of Lent. It's like it's a food for Lent that you have pre-Lent. And I'm not Catholic. I just really fucking like the food.
Yeah. Like,
Why did they eat it?
Like goulash.
Why? What now?
You said the cats ate it.
Oh yeah. So me and Abigail. Well, Abigail ate one, and then I ate two, and I left the other one over there because told Abigail she could have it, but she didn't want it. And so it was just sitting there, and then we went downstairs and we were cleaning up, and we came back up, and the cats got in the box.
I'll be down in a sec.
Oh wow.
Just a little nibble.
Just a little nibble.
This is getting needed.
Her face is fucking with me. And I don't know how to fix it yet. But I'm getting
You'll
there.
figure it out. You usually do.
Ugh. I don't know. Is it so bad? Hold on. Let me look away from it for a little bit. As I leave it on the screen. Mhm.
Because I do the thing to make sure that I won't look away from it. Yes.
Let me look at his face.
He is looking quite handsome.
Yeah. I love how floopy his hair is.
Yes, this is very floofy.
I hope it's the right kind of floopy. In other words, I hope the impression I got from her drawings is correct.
Yes. Understand that wholeheartedly.
Don't mind me nomming on some cashews here.
Yee. That is.
You guys want to see these or hear about these unhinged Inspirobot quotes my friends just sent me?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one of them is happiness can motivate you to invade a country. One of them is prostitution is often like being in kindergarten.
Oh my.
One is seek illusions, prepare for flesh.
Okay.
Just wear other people.
Oh my god.
Don't believe in yourself. Conform. Between smallpox and a kiss lies a horse.
What?
And wouldn't things be pretty different if the dying would refuse to communicate with the regional district managers? AI bots are freaking unhinged.
Yeah.
They really are.
Most hilarious stuff. Other times it's just sort of, that doesn't make sense.
I love Inspirobot though.
Crazy.
I quite literally follow the subreddit just for the weird shit people get.
Yeah.
Oh god, they're still sending them. Dolphins are problematic. Dolphins are problematic, though.
Oh,
Right? It's like, let's be real. Dolphins are problematic.
Look, man, as a kid, I love.
right now.
As a kid, I absolutely adored dolphins, and they were my favorite animal. And as an adult, I realized that they are literally just mass rapists, and I want nothing to do with them.
I mean, that's not an unusual thing in the animal/marine life kingdom, though, is the thing.
No, I know, but dolphins will literally rip the head off of a fish and then fuck it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dolphins are fucked up.
yeah, yeah, they really are.
I'm gonna continue drawing these fairies now. Holy shit.
I apologize if we ruined the dolphins.
I mean, to be fair, I wasn't all that invested in dolphins anyway, but like that's some craziness right there. God damn. They need some therapy, these dolphins. You know, I heard they also find, like, one thing that I did hear about, which might be another reason why I wasn't too big. No, I'm just kidding. Another thing that I heard about was that they, like ostriches, might have a tendency to find humans attractive.
I'm sorry, who has the tendency to find humans attractive? I was splitting my brain.
Dolphins.
Oh.
Which means people will sometimes do dolphin supervised water births.
Yeah, I wouldn't advise it.
Yeah.
No. Oh god, I just unlocked a memory I had suppressed and I wish I didn't.
Oh no.
Oh. Oh no.
Without going into too much detail, teenage me was Googling some strange, interesting things and accidentally found a website that I probably shouldn't have been on, and it was probably illegal now that I think about it, but it involved a dolphin and a human. We'll leave it at that.
Anyway, look at these
completely
cute
forgot
fairies.
I wholeheartedly forgot about that until we were talking about this. Oh my god. I wished that had stayed forgotten.
So fairies.
So fairies.
Yes.
Captive Hearts of Oz.
These fairies are adorable.
They really are. Granted, everything you draw is adorable or pretty or both.
Yay! Even when I don't mean it to be, such as Vitamir, who somehow came out sexy. Or at the very least, attractive. Becca literally was like, is every character you draw an underwear model or something? And I'm like, what?
It kind of does feel like every character you draw is like an underwear model or something. What'd you say?
You can sell these.
Yeah.
Cloth diapers. Expensive.
Any diaper is expensive. Lol.
Cloth diapers are expensive up front, but they pay for themselves.
We're just gonna have a big old garage sale and make lots of money off your cousin's shit.
Yeah. Because she's not going to come get it. Or if she does, she won't be getting her kid's stuff because he's outgrown it.
Mm.
In which case, mine is that.
You're like, mine?
Her cousin is incredibly problematic.
I believe it.
I would have been homeless if I wasn't renting for my grandma.
Oh yeah, so the whole situation with the cousin is that she and her cousin were renting this house together, and her cousin moved out suddenly without saying a goddamn word.
What the fuck?
Just
Literally just stopped coming home one day.
Yeah.
She would show up to do her laundry.
What the hell?
Yeah. So literally, so she stopped showing up one day and stopped paying her half of the rent and her everything, and so yeah, it's literally if they'd been renting from anyone but their grandmother, then Abigail would have been homeless because she wasn't paying the whole rent.
Biatch. The fuck?
Yeah.
By the way, I'm surprised that no one else made the observation that Faust is like the singular character I've ever drawn that doesn't have like majestic eyelashes.
I didn't notice, to be wholly honest with you.
OG Faust, I should say.
OG Faust. Yeah, you're right, because human Faust.
Human Faust has lovely eyelashes, yes. Oh, Jade
If someone
Faust,
had
however.
told me when freaking Them's the Breaks kid aired that I would be simping after Faust, I would have told them they were fucking nuts. I would have told them they were nuts if they told me I would have been simping after Terra. But here the fuck we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. Chase fucking broke everyone.
I still have like 3 messages from that one Anon that I need to answer. That poor
Yeah,
Anon.
you started by breaking us, and now you're breaking the public.
This is the boning.
I'm sorry. There's more. If the Anon is watching right now, I do see these, and I am going to go ahead and answer them. I promise. I just hadn't gotten around to it yet.
Flexible enough for it.
I say that, since obviously it's an Anon, and I have
want
no fucking clue who
fried rice.
sent those to me. But anyway,
I don't have money for fried rice. I just bought groceries.
Tabbies too.
fried
If you pay for the fried rice, I'll drive us.
rice.
Yeah. Actually, I was gonna say we could get the dragon, which is right by a little bit late for them,
But is it though?
but I'm the phone.
I have 30%.
Okay.
I have 20.
I think Jade Garden's still open.
It should be, yeah. Let me.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Sudden need for food.
Food.
Pretty sure this one still works. I just get more battery packs of one of them as they stop working. Never mind.
Lol.
You thought. What did you just tag me in? Salem, what the fuck?
Oh no.
So Salem knows that I've been collecting Owl House plushies and just tagged me in a string bean plush.
Oh my goodness.
Salem, you're supposed to be my self-control.
Nope, not today.
You were supposed to be my self-control, not destroy it.
Not today.
Really, what did you thought?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough. I have 20%. This battery pack is mostly gone, but it'll do. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna make you keep my friend's company for a minute. I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing pretty good. Now that I have a plan of action in place.
Heckin' yeah.
I've been dealing with her shit taking over most of the house for like the past year and a half,
Oh man.
2 years. Because she took over the upstairs. I had the downstairs.
Uh-huh.
And even then she took over half of one of the rooms downstairs.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the whole thing's rude, but like, seriously.
Yeah. But yeah. Of course, she doesn't ever answer my texts, so who knows?
Well, I mean, of course not. That would just be asking too much.
Yeah. Doesn't respond when I send her photos of, the mail, the important mail she's getting here.
Like, this is your shit, by the way. I literally do not care
Right.
or need any of this. You may want to come
This
get it.
says Illinois Highway Authority on it.
Oh, ooh. Yup.
Yeah. I
Oh,
sent her an
boy.
email. I sent her a picture of that via text. She never responded, never came to pick it up.
Alright, her problem.
Yeah.
I would keep those pictures, though, by the way. Just in
What?
case. I would keep those pictures, just in case. Like,
yeah.
that sounds like a very important legal document that she is not handling whatsoever, and we don't want that to come back on you with like, oh, well, it arrived at my cousin's house and she didn't tell me. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know that that would actually cause any problem for you, really, but just in case.
Honestly, if anyone ever comes to ask me about it, she doesn't live here anymore.
Yeah, you shouldn't be getting her mail anyway.
Exactly. It's on her to change her address.
It very much fucking is, yes.
The last 2 years I got my old
Yeah.
Like, for
But yeah.
real, girl. Not you, her.
And the fact that it took a year and an ultimatum for her to pick up her cat.
Holy shit. She's one of those
Yeah.
people, is she?
Well, she picked up her snake quicker than her cat, but that still took like a couple months.
I mean, yeah, still, like, gosh darn.
Yeah.
Like,
I did not want this cat. I did not volunteer to keep this cat.
Right?
The fact that I did for so long, honestly.
Like, you're
And
lucky
she never-
this cat was even still here.
Yeah. This cat that she adored enough to be part of the reason she moved out of her dad's when she did. Although, her dad was very reasonable in the ultimatum and she wasn't taking care of her cat right.
Of course.
Yeah. I found that out when I talked to him.
She did a little fibbing, did she?
Oh, that's her MO.
Yeah,
Because apparently, Katie told me that she made it out as if I was the one reason why the house was a disaster.
well, of course she did.
I'm messy, I'll give you that. However, I do look after myself when I get around to it. Like, my mess is organized in a sense.
It's called
Organized
organized chaos.
Location.
Yeah. She
And I
sounds
know
like a
you
lovely
actually-
human being.
Yeah.
Just real
yeah.
gem.
Oh, yeah. Couldn't ask for a better cousin.
Yeah, fun times. Good riddance. Bye. Time to get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Don't
Like
let the door
what?
kick you on the way out.
You've left this stuff here for like almost 3 years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this
Good
one, like I
lord.
said, it's abandoned at this point.
It is legally abandoned.
That is
Just
your
to,
shit now.
I'll make sure that I have proof. I'm giving her a 2-week notice via text, so I have written proof that she has 2 weeks to come get her shit.
And then actually going to give her 3, and then as a last hurrah, we're going to post the garage sale notice on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, she cannot say that she didn't get notice.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know how my grandma will react, because she very much needs family.
Hey, look, sometimes your family are dicks.
Exactly.
Trust me, I know that firsthand. Should I
Same.
lock your door?
Yes.
Oh, you did. Handle's locked. Worst case, we can crawl through the window. It's fine. Wouldn't be the first time I crawled through your window.
When we were teenagers, Hubs actually had to climb up on the roof once to get into his house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Also, like, why?
Wait.
Because he knew that the bathroom window wasn't locked. And there was a spot
I just
where you
realized
could
something.
stand
We're gonna go to-
next to the bathroom window.
Mhm.
The bathroom window was definitely big enough for a human to get in. So he had to clamber onto the roof that was directly in front of that sloped down from the window to get up to the window so that he could get in the house, so that he could unlock the house.
Alright, that's not helpful.
Yeah, no longer
That's-
helping.
That's fun
It's okay.
times.
I have
Yeah, you know, his mom making mistakes like that was not super common. Like, it was really not. She didn't do that very often. But it always seemed to me like whenever she did make a mistake like that, it was always like really notably kind of not great.
Yeah.
Like, it couldn't ever be like, oh yeah, just go talk to the neighbor and get the spare key that the neighbor has. It's always like, yeah, there is a window that is unlocked that never gets locked, and that's the way that we know how to get into the house if we can't get into the house. And luckily it was him who did this and not his sister, who would have been more than happy to climb up onto the roof. But she was, all of like 8. And so obviously nobody wanted her climbing up onto the roof.
Yeah, that
Nobody
sounds like
but
a
her.
no.
She was perfectly happy. She would have been perfectly happy to climb up on the roof.
Right? Like, she would have been
Kind of
fine with that.
virgin, though.
Like, but...
And she was, dude, they had, for a while there, and like, I don't know how true the story is, but for a while there, his mom swears up and down that she had to turn the crib upside down on top of his sister to keep his sister in her room because she was a danger to everyone in the house. Because she would just climb out of her bed and wander around the house at night. Which I can absolutely imagine, because that's exactly the sort of shit that Biggin did. Biggin did that sort of shit all the fucking time. At one point in time, Biggin woke our friend who was staying the night when he was a little one. He woke our friend up, crouched over top of him with his diaper off, and completely buck-ass naked. He woke our friend Sam up by crouching over top of him like a little gargoyle.
Wow.
Needless to say, Sam was very startled.
I mean, I have a feeling I would be too. I have a feeling
Nothing
Sam,
like having a little gerblin.
yeah, a little gerblin acting like a gerblin, crouched on top of you like that. Yeah, for sure.
Very well, and he was on, because Sam was laying on the couch cushions laid out on the floor, because our couch was a love seat, so it was too small for most adult humans to lay down on. I'm short, therefore I was able to lay down on it, but just barely. So Sam was laying on the couch cushions on the floor, and Biggin was standing on the edge of the couch directly above him. So it's like he woke up, looked up, and here's this little upside down gremlin face and little baby balls all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sure that was fun.
So bad. It was so bad. He's like, your kid scared the absolute shit out of me. I'm like, yeah, I can imagine it did. I imagine that scared the fucking shit out of you. I'd be scared as shit too. And I'm his mother. But that was just kind of Biggin's way. Like, that's just the sort of thing he did. Like, eventually he was young enough that I didn't feel that there was actually any way for this to go poorly that wouldn't go poorly more frequently if I did it the opposite direction, which was just letting him have a run of the house. Because I couldn't keep him in bed. I just literally couldn't. So eventually I just turned the handle around on his bedroom and locked him in his bedroom at night.
I remember you telling me about that, yeah.
And it was honestly out of, his preservation that I did that, because he'd get out of his room and he'd go do shit. And
that's cool and all, except that you weren't awake to make sure that he was safe.
Yeah, and he had a fixation with my knives, which they were utensils that I had in the house so that I could cook with. They were important parts of our life, was that I have these knives so that I can cook. And so it wasn't like I was going to get rid of the knives, and I didn't have a good place. I didn't have any place that I could figure out to put them where he couldn't get at them. Thank God he didn't get into them very often, but he would get into the knives. He got into the knives on occasion. Really, once he cut himself on one of them, he figured out that he didn't really want to have too much to do with that. But he still had to cut himself on the fuckers before he figured out that he didn't want to have anything to do with that shit.
Yeah.
So that was a fucking problem. And then at one point in time, after his brother was born, because we had moved and he had been behaving himself pretty well, he locked his brother in the bathroom with an overflowing sink turned to the hot, he had it on both hot and cold water, but the hot water tap was further away from where he stepped up to turn on the taps. So once it started overflowing, he tried to turn it off, but he only turned the cold water off. And so in order to try and stop the water from coming out of the bathroom, he closed the door while his brother was still in the bathroom.
Well, that just sounds like a lovely time.
Oh, yeah. Can you imagine my fucking feeling when I wake up like 10 minutes after once the baby starts screaming because the baby is, like 18 months and big enough that he can, his brother can help him out of the fucking crib. And so he's standing around inside of essentially the floor is actual lava to him because he's standing on the toilet in the bathroom with hot water flowing all over the fucking floor. And it's just like, this was a fucking catastrophe. We had water running down, and of course this was upstairs, so it ran down through our whole fucking house. We had just a nightmare of a time with this whole business because Biggin was just that way. That was just the sort of thing that he did. Just did this shit. And, God forbid somebody be like, you're just being a bad parent. I'm like, dude.
You have no idea.
I'm an exhausted human being. I am only human. And this child literally learns my schedule and starts to wake up before me.
Yep. By the way, I got a BRB, okay? So I'll be right back.
Okay. Do what you gotta do, hon.
Yeah. What
Yeah,
happened?
because technically, if you do, because you're supposed to fill out the 1056 if you're issuing a 1099, and that's how the IRS knows what you paid someone. So PayPal cuts out that middleman. So I'm like, can I still?
Quampex, yo! I didn't see that. I'm so sorry. I was talking off stream. I was doing stuff, but yeah, I am so sorry that I missed you saying hi. Hello. I don't know if you're still here. Stream is ending here shortly. So sorry. Here's the stuff to see, though. If
I'm
you
sorry.
didn't see it, I have a feeling you did. No, I wasn't paying attention to the
My
screen. That's
car
my
is
fault.
like, no.
This,
Oh.
this is literally my fault. I wasn't paying attention to the screen. But yo, hey, if you're still around, how you doing? Haven't seen you in forever. This is one, and this is one. This one right here isn't done yet. It's close though. I got some background shit to do, but otherwise it's not quite done. This one, however, is done. And it's fun times.
I can picture like losing Gus's faces in that, and it's hilarious to me.
I know, right?
Except for I keep picturing Luz as though it is the grandma AU, so Luz just has an oh shit face and Gus has a what the fuck face.
Right? I'm still. I mean, like it's difficult to make it.
You can do whatever you want. It's just in the context. If it was, it's hilarious.
I know, right? But that's the point. Like, I feel like it would work better if it was in fact that she is like her grandkid. But it's just trying to make that fit in a human setting versus a witch's setting. So yeah, that's the fun part. That's the fun part of it. I think it's definitely doable, but it'd be interesting. Definitely be an interesting family dynamic is basically what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah,
because
it's much easier when you're playing with witches.
Right, exactly.
Especially if you're playing with my witches where they just live longer.
Right, yeah. That's the one thing that I like about the Witch Vacation AU is that AU was essentially based off the idea that witches aren't, quote, mortals, so therefore they do in fact live longer. And so yeah, like Ida's probably like 300 something years old in that one.
Oh damn.
Yeah, like
My witches don't live quite that long, but my witches will easily live to like 120.
Yeah. Yeah, a little long lived in a different sense, right? So yeah, and Tara in that one would be at least 600, I think. She might be a little bit older. So yeah, that's the concept that witches truly are like really a long-lived race in that one. But in this one, everyone is human. So the question is how to make that work. I think really just to keep it from being too overcomplicated, I think it's probably the executive decision would be wise to make it that she was 18 at the very least when she had her child. When she had Manny.
That should have never had the talk.
Right. And then Manny, because, it's already happened once, basically did I done goofed in the worst way, but it maybe...
Essentially fine.
Hey mom, I fucked up.
Like, guess what, Mom? You're gonna be a grandma soon. Sooner rather than later. Yeah.
Right.
And so that would put her at roughly, 47, I think?
Yeah.
Somewhere in the 47 mark. And then Faust being, approximately 5 years older than her.
I still have bacon. I can make
Like
it
52
all over
or whatever.
yeah.
So
I'm in the driver's
I think that's
I'm
doable.
okay.
Oh my god,
If you want some more, I'll just. There's another half a bag.
Honestly,
I mean, it's not actually half a bag.
since we're talking about them all being human, I just found a really
like, I would take
interesting review that caught my attention, so now I'm reading it over the progress.
Uh-huh. What is it?
But it's basically, it's human AU swap, so Luz, this time it's still Luz who ended up in the other world, but Luz the witch that ended up in the human world. And Ida took her in, except for in this one, In this
Yeah.
one, someone framed Ida for a drug charge, and Lilith works for the FBI. And I swear to God, if it turns out Lilith framed Ida for this drug charge, I'm gonna be pissed.
Oh my gosh. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling.
Glad it worked. Okay.
Yeah, no. As soon as I really thought about it, I was like, "Oh, you motherfucker!" Did I turn on the wrong road? God damn it! I always do that.
Alright, so now the stream is actually ending. We're just taking a while to get off. But hold on, let me turn somebody back up a little bit. Yeah, no, I think that's probably the way it's gonna be, is that she was like 18 and then Manny
Hi,
done
Shay. Welcome home.
Hi. I'm leaving.
You're
Don't worry, I'm relinquishing your wife here shortly.
I'm relinquishing your wife.
Here's the recipe.
Because the joke is that I'm always taking her away from him.
I mean, what am I doing?
I'm
There's
not gonna do
4
that
ways
way,
down here.
but
So,
Can I carry it down for you?
I mean, you don't have
Mikey?
anyone to take me away from.
so I'm just taking you away from your cats, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Except they can
That's
lounge
what-
on
yeah.
you while I'm taking you away, so that works.
exactly. Although people still lay on the phone if he hears you talking.
I don't know, all the attention by human must be on me.
yeah, somebody's got to eat the fucking things. So
It's like you
No,
you need to
the
not be making my human look away from me.
Yeah, you are distracting my human from her duty of looking on me. All of on me.
All on me. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, my cats are needy little hoes.
Freaking dorks. But yeah, so I do have the ending screen up. I am gonna go ahead and hop out because I gotta go make foods now for peeps, and do all the
Yeah.
end of week obligations and so on. Because trash day's tomorrow and all that good shit. So
Fun.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank
All
you
right,
guys
I'm gonna
for
write a
hanging out.
contract up this weekend.
All right. All right. I'll
Alrighty.
talk at you guys later.
Sounds good.
Thank you for everybody who lurked.
Yes.
I hope you had fun watching all that.
Oh.
All right, bye.
Bye.